All right, we're live. Welcome to session 5 of the 2020 Eugene Review Panel. Very nice to have you here. Thank you so much for being here on a Saturday morning and for all your work over the last 10 hours so far of work over 4 sessions. Look forward to seeing you in some small groups this time. I think I'll actually get to visit them. And we have a number of evaluators, sort of peer evaluators, our peers from other places, and researchers. You'll meet them in your small groups. They'll say hi real fast, but they'll just be here observing as they have in the past. But new folks. A couple of other little announcements. Today, in terms of process, we're still in this sessions 4 through 6, your experts who you've selected. There are 3 experts that Sarah Giles was able to find for you today. So we'll be doing a little bit of small group work in base camps, or not work, just sort of a check-in. How are folks doing? What are you feeling? And then we'll come back out and head straight into the presentations by those 3 folks and Q&A. And one thing I wanted to note on that, one of your top requests on Tuesday when you were selecting, further selecting presenters, was somebody else from DLCD to talk about the technical aspects of HB 2001. Excuse me. So there were a couple of names on there who were not Ethan, who presented last week. And when Sarah reached out to DLCD, they said, well, really, if they want technical aspects of the bill, it's really Ethan. Maybe you should invite them to bring Ethan back to answer more questions. So we have Ethan here today to answer more questions from DLCD. He's sort of their main technical expert on this bill, and I just wanted to confirm that was all right with the panel to bring him back instead of one of those other names, given DLCD's advice. So if anybody has comments on that, please. I see a yes, please in chat. Anybody else has comments on that? Otherwise, he'll be here in the next session, and probably not giving much of a presentation, but just here to answer further questions if you have them. I see Troy you've raised your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, quick question. If we're able to get him back, and we've already heard from him, just to get more details now that we're more informed on the matter, is there potentially time to bring one more other perspective from someone else in on that list where we narrow things down from, or are these slots kind of as full as they can be?
Oh no, yeah, there's a bunch more people coming up. So today it'll be 3 people. If you're okay with him coming back, he's, I think, even waiting here, and just in case, and planning to be here. But there's 2 other folks that are brand new folks off of that list that you selected on Tuesday or the previous, or Saturday, I forget who was selected when, who's here today. And then there's more folks coming on Tuesday and additional folks actually coming the following Tuesday as well. So Sarah's continuing to contact everybody on that list, on both of those lists that you select on Saturday and on Tuesday in order. Is that what you were asking?
Not exactly, but I think there's going to be enough perspectives anyway, so it's okay.
Okay, I should say, if you're worried about, sort of, are we missing things still? We'll be doing another sort of small group work on Tuesday to sort of identify, hey, are there still any gaps that we're missing? So that wasn't the final, sort of round of selection. So we're running out of time here a bit, and there's a lot of people already on the docket, but we'll come back to that again, that sort of gaps analysis on Tuesday. See if there's, you're like, no, we're really still missing blank.
Well, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, all right, super. All right, anybody else questions or comments? All right, I'm not seeing any objections to Ethan coming back and answering questions on that technical aspects. So I think we'll still carry on with that. Sam asks in chat, are we still taking expert recommendations? So yeah, as I said, bring that to Tuesday, where we'll sort of do this gaps analysis. Anything still missing? You've done 2 rounds of sort of selecting folks, but that's not the end in terms of what information you can bring in if you feel you need something. So I'll bring that to Tuesday.
Awesome, thank you.
Sure. Anything else or anybody's hand that I'm missing here? Okay, super. One other comment that I just wanted to address. A couple people had asked about the time given to presenters, and yeah, that we've had more questions than there was available time. And as I mentioned early on, one, you can bring folks back, and you've kind of done that in this case, asked for more from DLCD. And we're also very happy to help facilitate getting information that you want. For example, Robert requested certain data that and we sort of went back and forth, and there's somebody coming up who's going to speak to that data, I think. But if they don't, then we'll get that separately for the panel. So if there's anything like that, you're like, we need blank, you're welcome to get it yourself and submit it as independent research using your panelist at the bottom of the panelist resources page, or tell us and we'll help however we can. The other thing is timing. So we've tried to, for sort of fairness's sake, keep the time for presenters and the time for questions for presenters fairly equal. So they've all gotten about 10 minutes to speak and about 10 minutes per presenter to answer questions. So like on Tuesday, when we only had one presenter, it was sort of 10 minutes and then 10 minutes. But today, for example, we have 3 people, so we've allotted 60 minutes for that time. Since you're bringing somebody back, I doubt that Ethan will have much to say up front, but so that'll just leave you more time for questions. But let us know if you have any sort of comments or concerns about that. We'll try to address them. There is somebody also mentioned a suggestion that Robert, actually at the steering committee on Thursday, you mentioned a suggestion about speakers recording their responses in advance, and that's something that we have done in previous programs. If there's somebody that we can't get actually to come in person, but is willing to create a video, we'll come back to that on Tuesday again, and part of the gaps analysis. Like, well, we can't get this person, but maybe we could get them in video, as a just sort of a preloaded presentation. And if you'd like that, that's totally in the cards too. All right. Any other questions or comments before we go to base camps? All right, super.